All right, you guys. Like, hopefully, I am, having everything come through on this app on a good level. So we shall see. But I want you guys to see this.
Is now under investigation. The president.
Hold on.
Take a look.
Thank you, Mr. President. Intelligence is saying this week that the coronavirus likely came from a level 4 lab in Wuhan. There's also another report that the NIH, under the Obama administration in 2015, gave that lab $3.7 million in a grant. Why would the U.S. give a grant like that to China?
The Obama administration gave them a grant of $3.7 million. I've been hearing about that. And we've instructed that if any grants are going to that area, we're looking at it literally about an hour ago. And also early in the morning, we will end that grant very quickly. But it was granted quite a while ago. They were granted a substantial amount of money. We're going to look at it and take a look, but I understand.
All right, so that went on pause because I'm about to keep on going from this point. But this is an actual news segment. This is not phototype. This is not screenshotted from somebody's computer and they digitally altered this information. No, this is really freaking happening, you guys. So wake the fuck up. Like, this program has been established for a very long time. And we've been part of this program, and this program is not, it's not fun. It's not cool. It's not, a happy thing for the rest of us, the majority of us. So let's just see where this goes after that, right?
And it was a number of years ago, right?
So you are.
When did you hear the grant was made?
2015.
2015. Who was president then? I wonder.
So this is huge, huge news. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a video on the channel right now that is going mega viral, okay? It's my interview with Dr. Buttar, and he talks about the $3.7 million, what that money did, and how Fauci got around the Department of Homeland Security order to stop doing testing on coronaviruses in the United States. Listen to this. What I think you're talking about is the moratorium that was placed, and then $3.7 million from the National Institute of Health was transferred to China so they could.
All right, before you hear the rest of this is a corporate news channel. If I'm not mistaken, you can see it from the bottom. So you already know this is the corporate news channel. But the thing is that we tend to forget because they indoctrinate us with so much information and then nothing that's informative. And so you got to learn how to be discerned and learn how to use discernment. But yeah, this was on national news. So everybody should have heard this shit. I don't watch the news. I don't have, regular network TV, and I barely even follow that. So my thing is the rest of y'all that do. Y'all should already known about this. Y'all shouldn't be protesting about that with no freaking guns. What the fuck are y'all worried about fucking guns for? No. This is a corporate level. This is a blue collar fucking crime that's going on right now. But whatever, I didn't say it. Somebody probably said it. But I just said it right now. But I'm pretty sure somebody's probably gonna say it. So we'll look at that a little bit later.
They could continue this research even though the moratorium. So they basically outsourced this research to China. Is this the same topic we're talking about here? This news is just breaking?
Yes, this is exactly right. So it goes back to 2014. The U.S. government decided, based upon certain virologists at that time, saying that, look, there's no justification for this kind of research. There's a potential for it to cause harm, cause a pandemic. So there's no justification for us to do this type of research. So the government passed a moratorium in 2014. Fauci approved approved budgets to be monies to be section for this type of research. So basically, and I'm getting really, every time I think about this, it gets me really flustered because I'm so angry that he basically broke the law. He more than broke the law. He created this entire cascade that we're seeing with the world shutdown was created by this initial aspect back in 2015. He broke the law. He went against government moratoriums. He took taxpayer money and he funded research that has now led to the COVID-19. In 2017, he was documented at Georgetown University saying that there will be a pandemic that this presidency will face, that this term will face. How did he know that in 2017 that something was going to happen in 2018, 19, or 2020? There's
no way he's supposed to know that unless he's part of the elective. So, you guys, punch us in the face our conspiracy theories and call us conspiracy theories and call us dismissive, and to say those words are very dismissive because we didn't make this shit up. We didn't. We just told y'all ahead of time, and then now it's happening in fruition. Like, it's happening, and now we can backtrack time because they gave us the fucking internet. So they done fucked up on themselves. But at the same time, like, y'all about to hear this from this man's mouth, what he said. And then it's like, oh, okay, am I going to believe what I see on video or what I'm going to believe and da-da-da-da? Then, you're not human because you got to believe it from your heart. You go out to work. You live these lives. You go out here. You pay these bills. You spend this money. And unless you're part of a small group of people who don't have to worry about too much of anything because you was already born into it, then, all right, more power to you. But the rest of us, quit acting like you better than everybody else. You're not. We're all on the chopping block. Everybody. Every color, creed, and race. So please believe. Please believe. This is not a game. And since we're sitting still, do your dang on research. How about that? Back to it.
You can't predict the market from 3 days from today, what's going to happen. How did he know that there was going to be a pandemic? He stated the president of this president will face a pandemic. The exact quotes, I don't want to say the exact words. You guys have the video footage. My point is that
there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that. But also there will be a surprise outbreak. There will be a surprise outbreak.
Also, who said this too back in 2000? I think it was 2015, 16. Obama? He said the same dang on thing, you guys. Similar. Super similar. We got time to go down that rabbit hole. They about to unleash the rest of the world, so they already know, we giving you guys too much information. Yeah, you guys have been giving us too much information, but you have to. That's part of the code. That's part of their code. So my thing is you guys, pay attention. Wake the fuck up.
There will be a surprise outbreak.
When somebody starts making these type of statements, and then they were involved with the breaking of the law to fund the research that American taxpayers paid for, that then goes to Wuhan and now trying to create this diversion and say that it's China.
That was just a clip of the larger 45-minute interview. I will link to it down below. You need to see the full interview for the full perspective. But the good news is that Congressman Matt Gaetz is also onto this. Okay, he went on Tucker Carlson and just took China to task and talked about the money that you are paying with your taxpayer dollars to fund the Chinese labs that are creating these pandemics. Listen to this.
So at best, Americans are funding people who are lying to us, and at worst, we're funding people who we knew had problems handling pathogens, who then birthed a monster virus onto the world.
Follow the money. And it leads right back to Fauci and then right back to the National Institute of Health underneath the Barack Obama administration.
All right, so like he said, you do have to follow the money. China is and has been a superpower. They're like we're like Captain Hero, and they're like, Thor. They're so close and similar in power and ability, except for one faction was made and created. The other one was naturally born. So you guys figure out how that dynamics work. I have my own theory, but I'm not going to put it on here right now. But here's my thing. This was before the Obama administration. So we're going to quit focusing on just that, because if we focus on that, then we're just going to be focusing on, promulgating a race war. Because we have a lot of people that are stuck on stupid. This has been around since the Geiger stones. And if I'm not mistaken, the Geiger stones been around since 1939, 1940s or whatever. This was already set up. Let's talk about Project Paperclip. If you guys don't know what Project Paperclip is, then y'all already late. Y'all already behind. That's the first setup. Have you ever been born into this world and thought that you was taken advantage of it already? Yeah, that's Project Paperclip. That means that every person that they put in your face, every celebrity commentator, because we don't even call them reporters no more, because they're not. They don't report shit. They commentate. They add their opinion and they read off a freaking script. That's a commentator. Journalism died maybe back in the late 1900s, early 2000s of the 1900s. If that makes any sense. But I'm just saying, seriously. Nobody want to go into journalism. Who really want to go into journalism? Because you can just do your own research online, because it gave us all the opportunities and everything else to do our own freaking research. But then now they ostracize us by calling us, something that they created themselves. They was already ready. So let us be already ready. All right. Now I'm on 13 minutes, so I got to hurry up and do this.
Okay? There you have it. How do we get here? Maybe we should ask Barack Obama. Maybe we should put Fauci on trial and ask him what's going on. How did that money go through?
Oh, yeah, and just to let everybody know, Fauci was around before Barack Obama. I'm not trying to save a person of color on that level, but I'm just trying to say he's not going to be the scapegoat. And our generation of people are not going to be the scapegoat. We're going to be the helpers. We're going to be the ones that's going to help this out and push it forward. But we'll see how this will all work out, because there's some other information that came out and they made it come out as a negative. But we'll see.
He actually addressed the question about if the virus was man-made. And I'm going to show you the clip here. And he was, the guy's never at a loss for words, but he knows he's under the microscope right now. Because the president's about to investigate that money and where it went, how it got there, and now he's sweating bullets. Watch this clip.
Ask Dr. Fauci, can you address these suggestions or concerns that this virus was somehow man-made, possibly came out of a laboratory in China? You studied this virus. What are the prospects of that?
There was a study recently that we can make available to you where a group of highly qualified evolutionary virologists
look at the sequences there and the sequences in bats as they evolve, and the mutations that it took to get to the point where it is now is totally consistent with a jump of a species from an animal to a human. So, I mean, the paper will be available. I don't have the authors right now, but we can make that available too.
So he's still maintaining that this thing was just jumping species or whatever he says. But we know that there were studies on coronavirus that were done in the United States. If there's anybody that knows,
So what it was is that the study was already implemented in China, and it was a virus that did come from bat and animals and other shit like that. But that's not fucking new. That's the thing. That is not something new. They've been messing around. Like, who do they do their trials on? They do them on animals. So you mean to tell me this rare, random ass freaking animal of the bat species came about and somebody caught it, like just like in the movie, and then somebody ate some of it, and then they got sick, and then they got sick, and it just spread like that? Nah, boo boo, that is not how that fucking shit works. And it's not how it works. And I'm so passionate about it. And I'm sorry about the cuss words, but I am so passionate about this because I know deep down in my soul, like, this is not, like, are we all part of the movie? I feel like we're all part of the movie. We're part of the narrative. Do we understand that? This is part of the lab. And then, mark my word, okay? This vaccine is going to have a little bit of HIV in it. Mark my words. This so-called vaccine is going to have a little HIV in it. And when this happens, this is probably going to affect me on a hot, like an intense ass level. Like, for real. So that's something else. Hopefully these freaking criminals, these freaking losers do not get to that point, and we don't have to worry about having to even be forced to choose to be vaccinated for a flu virus in the fall. Because we shouldn't have to. Let that fucking shit happen. It happened before you guys decided that y'all knew y'all had a fucking biological weapon. So let that shit happen now. Without y'all inputting a freaking virus in our freaking network. No. And then when I say network, yeah, we are a computer system. We are electric. We are a system of beings where we need everything. We take all that shit in. Because this is our planet. And everything that happens on this mess, we are affected. All right, next level. I didn't even think this was going to go this long. But
Fauci, he knows exactly what that thing is, okay? Because they were studying it here in the United States, and then they shipped it off to China when the DHS said stop. So I'm going to show you another clip here of Dr. Buttar again, and this time he takes it to the next level. And I think he's saying what a lot of people are thinking right now. Listen.
Is Fauci directly responsible for this pandemic because he maneuvered the money, he maneuvered around the moratorium, kept this chimeric research going in China? Is he directly responsible for not just the pandemic, but also the response that's killed the economy, put, 17 to 22 million people out of work. Is Fauci directly responsible?
I'm going to say this. I think that I've seen some petitions going around. I know Dr. Shiva said that Fauci should be fired. I think that's the nicest thing that could be done to Fauci. I think he's a criminal. He's broken the law. He's going against the government. I mean, to me, that seems like it's a traitorous thing to do.
All right, y'all already said he's a criminal. Because most of them are. They are criminals. Like we can sit around and watch Netflix videos about psychopaths and not even know who they are. Because they just kind of dissolve into our society. And then when we get red flags, we just like dismiss it. Like, oh, it's okay. You know, that's not weird. But when you on that high level of society, and even if they're making this shit up, even if they're lying, even if it's I'll say it, even if it's a conspiracy theory, fuck it. Then, how much true life is it? What have you experienced throughout your lifestyle? Because don't fucking forget. Because I feel like we've been forgetting. We've been forgetting everything. They've been distracting us with entertainment and all this other superficial bullshit. But our real lives, our real shit, we done seen some things as a whole, as a conglomerate on a higher level. I'm going to say maybe 40% of the population have already seen some shit and just was like, oh, I'll dismiss it because they made it as a norm and we just make it okay. What do we do with that information? Like, what do we do with that? We just suppress it. And then that's when an anxiety, stress, heart disease, overweight, like all that stuff. Everything happens like that. Like, because our bodies has to contain something that needs to be expelled. We've been holding it back. And I'm like, fuck it. Don't hold that shit back. If you feel a type of way about something, all right, Karen, if you feel like the Karen N-word and Karen N-word need to be the same thing, all right, bitch, then okay, be ready for the repercussions. But at the same time, the majority rules. I don't know if they stopped teaching economics in school, but I'm pretty sure they did. We need to understand how our government is supposed to be ruled. Maybe we need to get a re-education. Maybe we need to understand that, we as a populace on the United States of America came to an understanding, and that's what it was. And this whole entire time, we've always been at war. You can call it 1, 2, 3, 4 and put a name and title on it, but we always been at war. Because why haven't this continent been able to prosper on a normal level? Which we should have done and which we were already doing a long time ago. Until there was a projection that came in, a projection or project that came in and was like, oh no, we're gonna fuck this all up this way. And we want this to go this way. Have nobody ever thought about it like that? All right, next level. Let's listen to them talk.
When the government has passed a regulation and he's at one of the highest levels in the NIH, he's got a directorship at the NIH, and then he breaks the law, he breaks the moratorium, and then funds research against something that could potentially cause harm throughout the entire world, and he's in collusion with a foreign government.
So now you have Fauci colluding with the foreign government during the Obama administration, funding coronavirus studies at a Wuhan lab with your money. Now, thankfully, I'm going to throw it back to the president here. Just earlier, just a couple hours ago, he said he's going to be taking a look at the money. And they got a lot of money in the National Institute of Health budget. A lot. He details how much money, and then he goes back and says, we're going to take a look at the $3.7 million that Fauci approved to send to China. Listen to this.
And NIH is giving away a lot of money. A lot of money. We give away for many years, they give away a lot of money. And some people complain and some people don't. Some people are extremely happy. So we're looking into that also. They're giving away approximately, as I understand it, recently more than $32 billion a year. $32 billion. And so we've been looking at that for a while, and we're going to be having some statements to be made about that. $32 billion a year. It's a lot of money, and we want to make sure it's being spent wisely, and we've been doing that, by the way, and we'll have some statements on that. And those are much bigger numbers than what we're talking about with national. If you look with our friends from wherever they come from, 500 million is a lot of money, but it's not a lot compared to the kind of money that we give out. I think over the years it's been averaging about $32 billion. $32 billion. So we've had our eye on that one for a while. We also talked about the lab in China, where I guess 3.7 million was given some time ago, and we're looking at that very closely. Chief of Staff has that pretty much under control, but it's money that, too bad it got spent there. But that was spent, what year was that, Mark? It was 4 or 5 years ago.
Over the last 6 years.
6 years ago, approximately. So we're looking at that.
So, I told you it's good news. This is a really good development. We're getting closer to accountability here. And that's where we want to be. Okay? Your taxpayer dollars being shipped off to China, creating the pandemic itself. It is unacceptable, and it is criminal.
Brothers, you don't know this maybe, but white folk know their world is coming down. And they are so upset that their world is coming down, that if their world goes out, they intend to take everybody down with it. So the evil...
All right, so just to let you know, I did not switch this. This is a person that I'm following, and this is part of his thing. The one individual right before this image of like, I am super freaking shocked right now. Like, I'm shocked that this is happening right now. But let's just see. Let's just see what happens.
Of the wicked scientists of death. So white folk have decided, look, I don't care if we get some of our own, we'll get them too. There's no way out, brother. You can beat your tambourine. You can go to church and shout. But if you don't change your lifestyle, you're on the road to death and destruction.
All you scared to death Negroes. Just sit down.
$3.7 million transferred.
That is actually freaking amazing. I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna send it to a few of my boo things. But in all actuality, like, yeah, I want to say that last, like, contingent at the end, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to black people and us, like, we have been sustaining this whole entire thing. You know what I'm saying? So, we have been, because it's the Chinese, like, government.
Just hours after Pastor Tony Spell of Life Tabernacle Church in Central was charged with 6 misdemeanor counts of disobeying the powers of the governor, Tuesday's service was still on schedule.
Maybe this will be the step that actually gets his attention and brings him into control.
We need to get our shit together. We need to pull out the grain. We need to... There's a thing that I feel deep down in my soul, and it's hard for me to explain, but when I see other people, like, kind of, like, express it, it's just, like, amazing. Yeah, when it comes to the Chinese, that is, like, when it comes to the African American populace, like, they are taking at least about maybe 60% of the funding, like the monies that can go back into our own government, because it is what it is. We're African Americans. We are Americans, not even Africans, because it's hard for me to say that, but I have to say it because it's just like been programmed and ingrained in my psyche. So I'm just like, okay, I'm African American. Yeah, I am from Africa, a long time from Africa. But I'm American first because I and a whole bunch of my generation has been born on this continent first for a very long time. And a lot of people don't understand that. And we don't know that. And we don't have proof. But the proof is in the fucking pudding. Like, we are here. We represent this country. And this country needs us. And then the rest of the culture needs us. It would never be open to any other culture without us. Because once they start seeing brown people, they're going to be like, hold on, wait a minute. We can come in here too. Because back in the day, everybody used to be brown. If y'all don't know about that. Asians, Islanders, all used to be brown. Dark brown. Super brown. But it was about the culture of where you come from. So they made us lose our culture. And in the process, we still were about our lifestyle. Like, it was automatic. Like, we were just an automated, like, system. Meaning that, like, we still was human, but we were still an automatic system. And it was just like, all right, cool, you know, whatever. Fuck out of here. We just trying to survive. We didn't know that there was a bigger plan. And the bigger plan is, like, to me, it's hard for me to understand that we didn't know the bigger plan. Like, it's hard for me to understand that, like, yo, we didn't see this coming? You gotta be kidding me. I'm only, like, the bare minimum of the pure essence of who we really are. And I saw this shit coming. So, what's really going on? Let's talk about it. What's really going on? What's going on is the fact that shit has happened in our past there was an agreement that was made by our people and their people. And this is how they created this federal government that we live in today. If that makes any sense. Because I feel like it does. I feel like it makes a lot of fucking sense. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, we got too many glasses of Chardonnay. So I'm like, all right, maybe. Maybe. But at the same time, I really do feel like there was an agreement. There was something happened. And then apparently we had to be the fall guy. So in the 70s, when that movie came out, or that show, Fall Guy,